Hey, welcome to our channel once again. We are your diamond duo. And my name is Cohen. And of course, I'm here with my beautiful wife as usual,
Lisa.
Yes. And we are having a nice drink today.
We are.
As usual.
Cheers.
Oh, that was a good one.
It's a good one.
And of course, today we're diving into a topic that resonates also well with so many of us.
Yeah. It's a big one.
Big one.
Again.
Mixed signal in relationships.
Yeah.
Yes. And in this video, we're going to be focusing on understanding the cause of mixed signal. This will actually be a 3-part series. So the first one we're diving in today is understanding the cause.
That's right.
And then stick around for episode 2 and 3 as we dive and tear those apart to help you to understand your whole relationship.
Exactly. How to communication strategies, and then understanding after we kind of figure out the causes, we're going to dive into a little bit more on how to recognize those signals too. So keep an eye.
So understand, you're not alone when it comes to dealing with mixed signal.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why we created this 3-part series to break it down for you. So in this series, we're going to be exploring
the intricacies of understanding mixed messages. We're going to be providing practical tips for relationships. We're going to be deciphering ambiguous behavior, just really mastering the effective communication strategies. We've got you covered, so don't worry about it. We are going to make sure that you are well equipped to succeed in your relationship.
Exactly. Whether you're seeking clarity in your own relationship or just looking to gain some insight into human connection, stick around. We got some valuable tips and insight that's going to help you to do better. So let us unravel the mystery with you of mixed signal and pave a way for a healthier, more fulfilling relationship together. That's what it's all about. So
absolutely,
understanding the cause of mixed signal.
Yeah.
The first one we want to touch on is a fear of commitment.
Ooh. It's a big one.
Big one. And so
the
many
C
of us,
word.
The whole commitment factor, and so many of us are facing that.
Yeah.
And that could stem from like pretty much our childhood.
Absolutely.
Childhood trauma. Maybe we had a parent that, said, I will be there, right? Gave you a verbal commitment, but never followed through with action. So as a result of it, you grew up and you're afraid of commitments.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And because you're afraid of commitment, oftentimes you self-sabotage your own relationship and your own self.
Absolutely.
Right?
Because you're afraid of failure. Fear of failure is a real thing.
It is.
And that self-sabotage to protect yourself, a lot of times really affects your relationship. And it creates a mixed signal for the person that you're with. Because if you are doing all the right things, but yet things aren't working out because for whatever reason, it gets to a certain point and you shut down or something like that because of that fear of commitment, like it's getting too close to home. You start to question things and stir up things, and you start an argument and you don't know why, but it's a fear of failure. A lot of times people are really genuinely afraid of failing in their relationship.
Exactly. This is why a lot of people said, hey, I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
Because you may just not have had a good example of what a healthy relationship looks like. Understand, a lot of times we go through our relationship without having practical examples.
Yes.
So we're just winging it through. Yeah. And in my mind, I have one set of things going on in my head. In your mind, there's something else going on in your head, right?
Exactly.
And because we never had any example of how to really be practical and put those things together, then we're just going through. And this is why some people are just like, I don't want to commit.
They don't want to commit. Yeah. And sometimes people stay in relationships that are toxic, right? That we talked about that before, where it is toxic. So they don't know necessarily how to navigate that. Like, what do I say to curve that? How do I set maybe clear boundaries? Things like that can help actually avoid those situations, but because that's what they've seen, there's a huge fear because of it.
Exactly. And then when you think even just the fear of failure right? The fear of commitment. Then you get down to conflict and emotions as well.
Yes. Yes. Where
You
you,
know?
you want it, but at the same time, you don't know if you really want it, or maybe
Exactly.
you want it and you don't want it at the same time. Like, I know I want to be married, but I don't know if I want to like commit, maybe just with one person. It could
Exactly.
be something as simple as
Really good
that,
point. Exactly.
right? Think
Yeah.
of even celebrities we know of, right?
And to even look past that too, you look into your own relationship at time, those conflict emotion, you love the person,
Yes.
but somewhere along there, something was broken,
Yes.
right? So there's like, I love you, but there's some issues that I'm facing with you.
Yes.
There's some anger. So that's where you get sometimes those conflict emotion where
Yeah.
it's like, I know that I love you, but something is not 100.
Exactly.
Right? And you really have to sort that out. And once you sort that out, then guess what? You can move forward. But that's another point you have to think when you think of mixed signal or those conflict and emotions.
Exactly. And even being vague and not being able to make a clear decision, that's another cause of conflicting emotions. If you are the
Exactly.
type that really is not very decisive, so being in a relationship, you have to decide and make decisions daily,
That's right.
right? In the relationship, whether there's conflict or no conflict, but you have to be, pretty clear.
Exactly. And then, of course, so simple, so basic, unclear communication styles.
Yeah, just not saying anything.
Exactly.
Like we're just doing it. Like we're just
You just agree with whatever that was put on the table.
yeah.
And when you are agreeing, it goes right back. Verbally, you're committed, but emotionally, you're not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? So, hey, are we going to get married one day? We'll see.
Exactly.
But you know darn well you have no interest in being married.
Exactly.
But you're really not communicating it. You're just winging it and going by,
Yeah.
hoping at some point, you know what, they'll kind of like ease off
Exactly.
and recognize it's not going to happen. But if it's something that the other person wants badly, they're not going to ease off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And that's where some of that unclear comes in, right? Because sometimes if it comes to the marriage question or something like that, and like you said, where they'll say we'll see, or they might be going along with it. They're going along with it,
Yep.
but if you're really paying attention, only one side is initiating things.
That's the thing. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that can be really unclear because you're like, you're saying we want to get married, but I'm the one that's
Yes.
bringing up the planning. I'm the one that's, saying, okay, how are we going to do this? And it's really unclear because
Yes.
they're saying it, but they're not saying it, or they're not saying it unless I say it.
That's right.
That's another,
when we even
issue.
speak of unclear communication style, a basic thing we can't overlook is that men and women, we tend to communicate a lot differently.
That's true.
Right? So a lot of time women communicate all in with their emotions, where us men is kind of like, okay, all that emotion you have tied up into it, we look at it a little differently.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because for instance, I'm going to be direct to say, I don't like this.
Yes.
Right? Where sometimes with a woman, it's like a puzzle for us to figure it out rather than just saying, hey, don't do that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So those unclear communication styles as well
Yes.
stems from mixed signal,
Exactly.
because it's like a woman saying, hey, do I look like I gain weight? And it's kind of like, I don't know what to say, because if I say yes, I'm going to get my butt kicked. And if I say no, then you say you're lying. You're just trying to make me feel good, right? So
you know what to say.
we don't. We know what to say, to be honest, but whichever way we go, we can
know what
never
you mean.
win.
Yeah,
So
it's
again, unclear communication,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And of course, that will definitely lead to confusion.
Yes.
All right?
It's confusing being on the other side.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Like I'd be confused
That's
because
right.
I don't really know if the person is like, all in or not all in, right? And I mean with even avoidance
That's right.
when it comes to difficult conversations and uncomfortable topics, that can be difficult for people.
Very
And they
difficult.
avoid it because it is difficult to be able to communicate where they're at, right? And a lot of times that's another mixed signal is avoidance.
That's right.
Just
Yes.
not being available when you need the other person to be there.
Exactly. And when
Right?
you're dealing with an avoidance personality, it is one of the more challenging personality to deal with,
Yeah.
because really and truly, it's like they operate literally with no emotion,
Yeah. That's scary.
right?
That's scary,
No
but there are a
emotion.
lot of people like that.
Yeah,
Because again,
and-
right, it depends what they've been brought up in and who they are as an
Exactly.
individual.
Yes.
Even if they're brought up perfectly, that might be who they are as an individual.
And those are the type that you'll find it challenging to get a strong commitment from in relationships,
Yeah.
simply because they're focusing on what they're focused on,
Yes.
and they don't want to be tied down, slowed down. But when they're ready to be direct,
They could
they'll
do that.
they could be very direct
Yeah.
when they need to be direct.
Yeah.
And one of their way of being direct is simply saying to you, I'm not looking for anything serious,
Yeah.
but they want all the benefits
Yes.
of what the relationship give without a firm commitment. Right?
So they're just kind of moving through the situation
Exactly.
without, we're together, but not necessarily together.
Yes. The benefit of the wife and husband, but
Yeah.
don't think that you're the wife, or don't think that you're the husband.
Yeah.
This business I'm working on, that's my partner right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Mixed signals. Mixed
yes,
signals.
the mixed signal in relationship.
Yeah.
This is a powerful one.
It is. You can really go really deep into this one, and
Yes.
we've definitely worked on developing things that will hopefully be helpful, but we can definitely go deeper. And I mean, definitely add those things in the comments if there are areas or things that you'd want us to talk about, like to dive in a little bit more when it comes to mixed signals. Put it in the comments as well. So as we wrap up, remember that navigating the mixed signals in relationships is a journey, but understanding the causes of the mixed signals provides insights and can help overcome any obstacle. Yeah.
So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more relationship advice and insight. And check out part 2, recognizing the signs when it comes to mixed signals.